Now, anxious investors are wary about recent riots and looting in parts of the country, particularly KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. The Durban Chamber of Commerce is warning that some companies are looking to divest from the province. Let's speak to the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry's Deputy President Gladwin Malishe. Gladwin, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me now. I was asking that how anxious are the investors in KwaZulu-Natal given what happened last week, I should say.
Thanks, sir, and good afternoon to your viewers. Investors are very anxious. You know that if you come and invest in any country, the first priority is your return on investment. And you can only do that in a stable environment where you come to a country where there's accountability, where you can actually be able to access the government and the government can come to you and the society is able to work with you. At this point in time, I think this is brought up by the tension that happened last week. Also the fact that, business will want to see what exactly happened. They will want to get a report. We heard that there are 12 people who might have instigated this. Business doesn't know all of that, but they will want to see action. Action will prove to them that you are stable, that the government is in control. If the government is not in control, there is no investor that will come to this country. So it's important that our government understand that what is making investors scared is because if you don't see leadership, if you think that our government is not in control. Yeah. So it's important for government to prove that they are in control.
Instability in KwaZulu-Natal has been of great concern for some time now. Think of Rio Tinto, for instance. So what is it really that the provincial government can do? What promise can they make to convince investors not to disinvest, given that what happened last week is a big part of the problem, but there have been concerns around instability and how it affects some businesses in parts of KwaZulu-Natal?
So security is very paramount. What is important for government is to make sure there is security. If there are incidents, like you said in Rio Tinto, business want to see our government standing up, arresting those perpetrators, and making sure that they are booked and their cases are dealt with. But if no one is arrested, people are dying and no one is taking responsibility, it becomes difficult. But in the case of KZN, we have seen our premier and some of the MECs coming out trying to assist wherever they can. But it's important that business and government work together with the communities around. It's important that our community understand what is business there for, is there in the area for, and what are the benefits that are being brought by business and how can they actually benefit. Businesses, for instance, can't hire everybody who's looking for work. So it's important that government play their part. It's important that business play their part. But also for communities to be given an opportunity to start their own businesses. So we are there as business and saying we are willing to work to normalize the situation, to be able to hire as many as we can, but also government needs to do the same. But in doing so, we need protection. Without protection, business are going to run away. Investors are going to be fearful to come. Yeah. It is important that we stand together to say there are opportunities. This is a platform that we are actually opening up as government and as business to come together and fix whatever issues that are there.
Yeah, and I mean, the question that the supposed businesses will have is, should a similar threat arise again in future, are we actually ready to deal with it? Given what the president said the other day, that the threat is still out there, but then you hear contradictory messages between the ministers in the security cluster, and that really doesn't bode well and give confidence not only to South Africans but to those investors as well. Gladwin, I imagine that foreign investors are more concerned about, they are concerned because they have other options, right? They could move their businesses to neighboring countries. I'm thinking Toyota, LG, Massmat, these are some of the companies that have invested in that province.
Let me just give you this. The Western Africa is very attractive to many big businesses because you are talking about a growing middle class, especially from Morocco, all of those countries there. Many, many businesses and corporates are looking into those areas because you've got population like Nigeria, Ghana, and so on that are able to buy. They've got the buying power. Some of them have land that, rioting and looting like this is not working. So it is important for our country to learn that there are options for businesses in Mozambique, for instance. It's an opportunity, though we have seen an unrest in those areas. But their government are able to come together, pull together, speak with one voice. That's what we don't see, like you were saying with the Minister of Defense and the Presidency. We don't see, and if we don't see that speaking in one voice, people are going to get scared because it's telling us that the center doesn't hold. And if the center doesn't hold, who will want to put their money and risk their money where you can see it's burning?